Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's time to take a look at Ghost Recon Wildlands. Dominic here is the lead game designer, so he's the guy to answer all our questions about the game. At least all the questions he's allowed to answer at this point. Yeah, you had a really big showing of this game at Ubisoft's conference yesterday.
That's right. Yeah. We kicked off the conference. Happy to do it.
Ubisoft's biggest open world game it's ever worked on?
The largest action adventure we've ever done.
Wow.
It's enormous. It's set in Bolivia in the near future. And it's an absolutely, we can see it here, it's absolutely gorgeous place.
Yeah.
This is it's quite a central part, so we've got the hilly mountains, so it's quite a kind of deserty spot. But we've got a ton of different environment types. We've got snow peak mountains and swamplands. We've got salt desert flats and kind of everything in between. But this is the section of the world we wanted to show you today.
Sure. So, who's your character? Are you you're a person with a name and a story, or are you creating a character at the beginning?
So you're creating a character at the beginning. You're a Spec Ops soldier, but right from the get-go, you get to make that choice of how you want to kind of embody yourself within that game. You're choosing your gender, your race, all of your gear, your equipment, and you're kind of from the beginning setting that tone of like, this is who I am, this is who I want to be. And then you take that with you whenever you're playing. If you play solo, if you're playing up to 4-player co-op, you take that character, that progression with you.
So you got this huge open world. Are you also telling a story?
Absolutely.
Story.
Absolutely. So again, at the E3 conference, we showcased the head of the Santa Blanca cartel. Need a little bit of backstory.
Yeah.
So, in true classic Tom Clancy fashion, we take something where based in a kind of plausible reality, which is beautiful Bolivia, a place where the coca leaf is just present everywhere. It's part of their daily culture. It can be used for lots of things, medicines and drinks and lots of things. But we asked, what if a Mexican drug cartel moved in and took over the entire country? I mean, really everywhere, and formed an alliance with the corrupt local government to form a narco state. What would that look like? What would it be like to travel through a world like that? And what would the world's reaction be, right? So in our case, the answer's simple. We got the ghosts. These guys are best of the best. Spec Ops, trapped deep behind enemy lines. And they're there just to kind of like create chaos and destabilize that cartel, because it's not just in one place. They're everywhere in the entire country.
Yeah.
So that you're going to have to move around. You're going to have to seek out those opportunities and take them down.
Yeah. What's a different kind of Ghost Recon game? At least that different kind of Ghost Recon game that we've seen in a long time, right?
Yeah.
Advanced Warfighter was more like futuristic weaponry. It was level-based.
Yeah, and we had Future Soldier was the last release that we had. And the thing is that with Ghost Recon, it's something that's very dear to our hearts within Ubisoft. It's one of our older franchises, and we love it. And in fact, a lot of the guys that worked on this project are guys that have worked on Ghost Recon for 10 plus years. They've been with the brand for a long time. They know what Ghost Recon is. And every time we do one of these, we want to mix it up, right? We want to bring something new. In some cases, that's some awesome future tech, or the setting, or some kind of benefit. But we wanted to make sure we took full advantage of the new consoles, the powerful PCs, to do something we wanted to do actually for several games. We just haven't been able to do it. Was to bring it to the open world, to bring that tactical shooter to the open world. So you get that freedom of choice, and you kind of set it in this big, dangerous world, and you say, go enjoy yourself, and do it with your friends, or do it with AI teammates. Up to you.
So here you're showing a group of 4 players taking on this mission, and you're sort of switching between their different perspectives.
That's it. So this was something we recorded. This is gameplay footage we recorded just before we came over.
Yeah.
And what we have here is, prior to this, the Ghosts have been doing a lot of recon. They've been gathering information around the province, and they've tracked down this bad guy, El Pozzolero. He's one of the minor bosses in the Santa Blanca cartel.
Okay.
He's a nasty guy. He's the guy they bring the bodies to, and he makes them disappear in acid baths. It's nasty business. But the Ghosts are here, but they know that he's got some vital intel. They want him taken alive, so they're trying to move in. They don't want to set off too many alarms in case he runs, in case there's a shootout and he's caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
So they're moving in, and like you said, they're coming in from different sides, trying to support each other, not set off any alarms, see if they can get him and get out.
So how would this mission be different if you were playing solo?
So in solo, all the content is exactly the same. The idea is that there's no solo campaign and co-op campaign. In fact, you're always playing Ghost Recon Wildlands. You're always playing that same progression, that same narrative. When you're playing with your friends, you share that experience. If you decide for whatever reason to break apart, or one of you plays for an extra few hours one night, or can't make it for one session, everybody else gets to keep playing, and then you can all rejoin whenever it suits you guys. If you were playing in solo, you can play offline if you want, but you're always going to be supported by 3 AI teammates.
Okay, that was another question I had.
That's the thing, because the world is just too dangerous. The guys, we have a lot of contacts in the Spec Ops community and a lot of military contacts. And we showed it to them. They were really impressed by the level of depth, the level of detail we go to. But they said, it's clear we would never do this by ourselves. The movies are great, you know, they tell that story of the lone wolf going in, but practically it just doesn't make sense. You need that support. You need guys watching your back. You need the long-range support. You need, if you go down, somebody to revive you, to take vehicles. And we want to make sure that we give all those opportunities to the player, right? So you can play it whatever way you want.
So drop in, drop out co-op. Yep. And if anyone drops out, the AI takes over.
So you guys are always playing together, right?
Yeah.
So it's never a case of I have to do one thing or the other. It's you're just always playing Ghost Recon Wildlands.
If you are playing by yourself, I think I remember in Raw you could give your teammates orders.
Right.
So how this works? Or?
So we have a simple communications wheel that we use to give basic orders to the AI. We did one, you can see it's quite an action-packed sequence here, but also we have a lot of quiet moments, serene moments where you're reconning and you're taking your time, sort of scoping out your enemy. And even across all of those, we wanted to make sure that you didn't have to micromanage your AI. So it's not a case, we have very intense scripted games, like Rainbow Six, games that are great, all about entry points and things like that. Ours, we've got we embrace the chaos a little bit more. We've got that open world where anything can happen. So the comm wheel is there. You can give basic orders to hold, retreat, attack on you, that kind of stuff. But it's the same comm wheel you use with your friends. So it's not two different systems. It's like, hey guys, on me, or let's go, let's attack you.
So what's this game like when you're not in a mission? When you're just in the open world?
It's honestly, well, it's good that we hit the helicopter at this point. This is one of the things that we find people doing at their desk. This is a build that we took from the floor. Like, this is the game where we're playing every day in the office. We play it in solo, we play it in co-op. And we do find some people just taking a helicopter and just flying, just enjoying the view. Because, like you said, you've got all these different ecosystems. You've got this world that's changing. It's not just, oh, this is the desert game, this is the jungle one, this is the night game. It changes. It's got day-night cycle. It's got different environments. It's fun just to explore. We have lots of camps, we have outposts, we have villages that have been taken over by the cartel. We also have like real life that's happening in between. So it's fun just to see those civilians interact with the rebels, all these different factions. So honestly, we enjoyed just traveling across it.
Okay, well I'm glad to hear there are outposts. Because like infiltrating outposts is one of my favorite things to do in video games.
You had plenty of opportunity.
Yeah. So we captured our target here.
Yeah. So in this case, I talked over it, but in this case, the Ghost managed to get to a point where they were almost on Pozzolero. He spotted them, so he ran. And it's really important that all of these bosses, all of these, we call them patrones, they're like lieutenants in the Santa Blanca organization. Every one of them has their own backstory, they all have their own motivations, they have different roles that they play in the cartel. You're going to have to understand that to see their personalities, and then they all have different reactions. So if they spot you, some are just going to surrender straight away because it's too hot for them.
Yeah.
Others are going to, get down behind cover. They're going to start returning fire. Others are going to flee. They're going to take vehicles. They're going to run, and you're going to have to adapt, right? You're going to have to keep moving. You're going to have to keep working your way through the missions. Try to find the right way to do it. Try to find what works for you.
Wow. Ghost Recon Wildlands. I'm totally excited for it. It's
Great.
Totally
we're
my
happy
kind of game.
Well, come by the booth. You can try it for yourself.
I'll totally come by the booth. You guys haven't announced release date yet, right?
No, we did. It's March 7th, 2017.
March 7th, 2017. I'll be there. Dominic, thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thank you for having me.
Stay tuned. More to come from IGN Live at E3 2016 after this.